Hello everyone and everything, and welcome back to more Hollow Knight. In the last episode, we started exploring the Fungal Wastes in earnest. And in this episode, we're gonna keep doing just that. Before we get set off, though, I want to point out that Fragile Heart is the only one that I haven't bought yet. But of the three, if you are sort of, like, on the fence about risking the fragile aspect of them, you don't have to buy any of them right now. You can, there will be an opportunity later to buy them for a little bit cheaper. But of the three, if you were to buy any of them, just for the sake of having them, Fragile Heart is the one that I would most recommend for a casual or first-time playthrough, because it's going to have an application or two later on. So, since I have the money, I am just going to go ahead and buy it right now. Down to 13 Geo. I wasn't hiding before, you know. Just napping before I head off again. Bound to be facing even more deadly beasts soon, so I gotta keep me strength up. I wonder if she's intended to have sort of a Cockney accent. Oh, I gotta keep my strength up. No one... That's okay. Ow. Back here at the sign where Hornet dashed away from us, we are going to continue onwards. Backtracking away. There's no way across that gap for us just now, but perhaps we will find one on our travels today. One thing I know we're gonna find is a lot of money, especially now that we're armed with Fragile Greed. I love this charm so much. Ow. Very monetarily motivated. Let's see here. We're gonna first start off by going this way, to the left, because this is gonna be pretty important. Be careful on your way up here. Man, these guys are positioned just wrong. Okay. I love these bouncy mushrooms so much, and they like make so much good use of them in these big vertical rooms like this. Nail pogoing itself is already so fun, and just adding that bouncy element to it is just perfect. Another grub! It feels like it's been a while since we've seen one. There definitely hasn't been one in the Fungal Wastes yet. This is gonna be that was our first. More Geo for us. Splendid, splendid. And if we keep heading to the left, we'll find a Geo rock that may look familiar to people with startlingly good memories. A lever here opens this door, and we have come full circle from where we started. Right over there is where we got the map from Cornifer, and this is the very first gate that we found locked. So now we have made traversing this area much, much simpler, because we can just jump on over to this side. Now, to see just what this side holds. Wait, what? How did you spawn two of them at the same time? They're not supposed to do that. Hey, come on, I really want to take that thing out so I don't have to do it anymore. Okay. How many of those do I need? They're called sporgs, and I need to beat 2 more. Well, I'm sure we will have the opportunity to do just that. Here, we're going to start seeing these pikes that have various masks mounted on them, and a new kind of enemy. This is a Mantis, and they are rather strong. They have 2 different attacks, an attack in front of them and above them, depending on where you're positioned when they start. These are young Mantises. A little more simple, only 1 attack. These guys can be dangerous because their physical attack has so much range, but I've kind of got it locked in. As long as you wait for them to attack and then jump, you're just fine. The young ones are pretty simple. They'll just try and dive bomb you. Take that one out, just so. Wanderers seeking death, welcome. May you find swift end upon our claws.
Well, that sounds delightful.
I say we explore further. So it seems that these mantises are a little more intelligent than what we're used to coming upon. They're attacking us not out of some sort of instinct, but because they're territorial. Yikes. These guys are very susceptible to the parrying mechanic, just because their blades are so long. Yikes. Oh dear. Okay, we're fine. Keep myself topped off, because this place is obviously going to get pretty treacherous. Excuse me, young one. And we've got a sign showing us the way to a bench here. Oh, jeez. I angered like 6 of them. Of course, 6 is the same thing as 3. There we go. That was really smooth. I'm not even going to sugarcoat that. That was cool. So we're going to follow the signs down to the bench. I haven't really emphasized the importance of benches yet, because as I'm playing in Steel Soul mode, respawning isn't something I have to worry about after death. But I do feel the need to stress that if it's your first time playing this game, there is a lot that will take you by surprise. And having your spawn point as close to where you are as possible is always going to be important. So we're going to take a sit down here. I'll go ahead and show exactly where we are. Down by that bench pin right over here. And that is going to be a super important bench to sit at, because otherwise backtracking from the challenges ahead of us is going to take a long time. So we're going to head upwards to the last branch. Yeah, there it is. This one. Give me that money. 18 geo from each of those guys. I'm already up to 460 when I was down in double digits earlier. Let's see what's over this way. Excuse me, sir. Thank you. Youch. Okay, we're fine. So we've got a lever up there that we can't quite reach. Another young one. This place is swarming with these guys. Okay, this is fine. A giant central gate with light bleeding up from the middle, down in the center here. Keep taking them down. And another lever. This area is going to be huge on these levers. We saw that one opened a door directly above, so we're going to have to backtrack and fourth track. Is that what that's called? Anyway, we're going to have to go back over to that gate, which was right here. And that's going to unlock the way to something glowing. Glowing stuff is the best. Secondary only to shiny stuff. We have taken the Mantis Claw. Press A while sliding against a wall to jump again. Jump from wall to reach new areas. We have obtained a wall jump, allowing us to jump so much higher than before as long as there is any vertical surface nearby. Vertical surfaces not covered in spikes, notwithstanding. So we can now explore all the way around so many places. We can get goodies and collectibles. I will go... Ooh, hey, a sign. The truce remains, our vigil holds. The beasts are kept at bay. Not entirely sure what that means just now, but I'm sure we'll learn it. Ouch. Speaking of learning, it's a bit of a learning curve figuring out how this wall jump works, but it's pretty self-explanatory. Push towards a wall and you'll slide along it. Jump while sliding and you'll do another jump. It's not rocket science. And there are so many things to find around here. Another lever here. This one seems to shake everything. Not insignificant. One more Geo Rock before heading onwards. Seems that giant central door in the middle there has opened up for us. Let's descend and see what's down there. Just kidding, we're gonna go straight back up now that we've gone down that hole, because there's something really rare that not a whole lot of people have seen by this point. And that is that Quirrell shows up in this village between the point, right after you enter that lower area. Let's go ahead and see what he has to say. Hello again. I suppose you've already met with the tribe of this village, They seem a little distrustful of strangers, to put it lightly. They're not brutes, though, no. The sickness in the air that clouds the mind of lesser beasts. They resist it. They retain their intellect and their honor, though also their lethal traditions. I have some words of advice, my friend. If you plan to challenge the lords of this tribe, your blunted nail may prove inadequate. There is a city nearby. the old capital of Hallownest. I've heard a nailsmith resides there. Seek the old bug out, and you may find progress that much easier. That's all very well and good advice, Squirrel, but I've got fragile strength. I think that's all the upgrade that I need. Now we can properly explore the lower area here. Once again, lots more switches. This whole area is designed to give us quite a good test of our brand new wall jumping ability. Those young ones are completely unable to do anything to us as long as we stay above them. They do tend to make it kind of difficult to get above them, but that's besides the point. So we're going to spend this whole time sort of just descending, unlocking shortcuts along the side, and so on and so forth. There's another Geo Rock over there, and I like me some money. So the Mantis Lords are a really cool departure from what we've seen so far. They unlike every other enemy that we've faced, they have their own civilization, their own sort of sense of architecture. And you can tell just by reading their signs just how like stoic and honor-bound they seem to be. I love the warning that they give. It's not keep out or else. It's those who seek death are welcome. I think that's just such a cool shift in language from what we may be used to. I also tend to get very lost in this room. Let's see here. Anything down here that I didn't already? I did already get. Ouch, we're fine. No worries about spikes, just heal it off. Okay, so we can go down this way, but there's a dead end. This whole area is sort of set up like a maze. I believe we need to head upwards and to the right. I can hit this guy, I think. Nice. Taking advantage of the walls. Their upward slash is a lot less range than their lower slash. Alright, that's gonna open that up, which makes nail pogoing on them a little more effective than you might expect. Hey! 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 Face me! Ah. Apparently, we are not welcome over there. Well, we've oh, they all respawned. That's not ideal. Okay. We can hop up here, and this is gonna probably kind of show us... Never mind, we can't get up there. Maybe we can. But that's a bit of misplaced effort when we can just go down this way. Best not to anger too many of these young ones at once. Otherwise, we might be in trouble. Okay, so opening this door with the upper switch that we flicked. Simple enough. And one last switch to completely open up this central chamber. And we are going to head downwards and find the lords that Quirrell mentioned. The Mantis Lords are the freaking best. These three are a major test of our abilities. You won't win by luck or through attrition and healing. You need to know this fight to have a chance. So let's jump right in and learn it. 3 attacks to contend with this time. The Lunge, the Plunge, and the Whirlwind Slash. You may have noticed that the Lunge is the exact same name I gave to one of Hornet's attacks, and that's because, well, they're the exact same attack. A dash straight forward along the ground with nail outstretched. I told you to get used to dodging it. Jump over it, get in a nail pogo, and if you're feeling cheeky, follow it up with a hit to the back. The main thing to note is that the Mantis Lords will teleport in and out of the arena in between every single attack that they do. This can make them really agile and seem a bit overwhelming at times, but it actually makes them more predictable. Think about it. Once they've finished with an attack, you already know for sure that they're not going to attack again until they've teleported. So from the time that you dodge to the time that they disappear and reappear, you're basically safe. For the Plunge, they'll appear directly over the knight's head and then plunge downward. This attack can take you by surprise the first couple of times, but keep 2 things in mind. 1, its hitbox is really thin, and it doesn't take much to avoid. And for 2, this is the only attack that will begin with them appearing above you, so as soon as they show up, you already know which attack to dodge. The dash is a safe bet to create some distance quickly, but I'd recommend simply stepping to the side so that you can land a hit or 2 before they vanish again. Their final attack, the Whirlwind Slash, will have them appear at one of the walls and launch a projectile that sweeps across the stage in a boomerang pattern. This attack is far slower than the other two, and gives you ample opportunity to deal some damage or heal. Be aware of two variants of this attack, which are based on the height at which the Lord appears. If they're on the level of the floor, they'll launch the disc low, and it will curve upwards. This is the best time to heal, because once you jump over the projectile, you have all the time in the world. If they appear above the stage, they'll launch the disc high and it will curve downwards. You can still heal, but the timing is a touch stricter. Either way, all dodging this attack takes is a single jump. You can also pogo on the disc if you just want to stunt on them. And that's it, right? Rinse and repeat for 3 lords? Wrong. Dead wrong. Once you defeat the first lord, the other 2 will enter the arena simultaneously, attacking you back to back or twice at once. The attacks are nearly identical. The main difference is the frequency. Most often, they will stagger their attacks and come at you with a combination of lunges and plunges. Dodging both of them is essentially the same as dodging one. Jump over the dashes and sidestep the drops. The main complication is that they can use a combination of the plunges to force you to the side of the arena and then hit you as they appear for a lunge. In Phase 1, the solo lord would never appear on top of you like this, but the duo have no such scruples, I guess. The only way around this is to simply make sure that you return to center stage as often as possible and avoid those corners. Sometimes they will also perform a double lunge, where one appears at each side of the stage and they both dash across. This is probably their easiest attack to deal with, and getting that perfect nail pogo on both of them at the same time is just so satisfying. Finally, as a pair, they completely alter the way they use Whirlwind Slash. They'll both appear high up on the walls and always send their projectiles downwards. The 2 varieties in this phase are whether or not they have a long arc or a short arc. The long arc is a little harder to dodge, but again, a single jump at the right time is all it takes. The short arc is much easier, because there's this perfect little night-sized blind spot right here underneath the point where the 2 meet. This is your absolute best opportunity to heal. It is also possible to get a hit in during this attack, but honestly, I don't think the risk is worth it. It's also worth noting that they'll always do this attack in response to you wall jumping, and it can cause them to desynchronize and do some weird stuff. Some of this can be downright unpredictable and random. Ultimately, I just do not recommend wall jumping at all, especially since there's a chance that they can spawn on top of you while you're up there. Well, that was a lot, but it's time for the game plan. Your greatest enemy in this fight is your own panic. The double attacks can certainly look overwhelming, but keep a cool head and pay attention. This is kind of abstract, but essentially, just remember that you are in control of the fight. Since they're only on screen when they're attacking, and all of their attacks are so rigid, bear in mind that you always dictate the few possible locations that they can appear. Center stage is your very best friend. Cherish it and return to it whenever possible. During lunges and plunges, don't over-rely on dashes to dodge. Try to dodge things with short jumps and small sidesteps. If you start dodging by dashing across the screen, you're most likely to just get caught off guard by their teleporting. Finally, only heal during the Whirlwind Slashes. I hope you've got all that. Here we go. Before fighting them, if we wander over here, this door will slam shut, preventing us from advancing further to the left. But there is a secret crumbling wall up here that makes the incoming fight much easier. 2 extra hits for us from a very well hidden lifeblood cocoon. And this is also another thing that makes the Mantis Lords very unique. They do not fight us just for entering their arena or from us laying the first blow. Instead, we get this unique challenge prompt. And I say we do just that. Bring it on, my friends. I love this fight so much. It's one of my absolute favorites. It's very popular. And really just, it makes you feel so cool once you get it. It does take a bit of learning. But once you do get it down, it's just, it makes you feel like such a badass, honestly. Attacks are flying in from all directions, and you're dodging them with as little motion as possible. They are going to be very tanky to us at this point in the game. As Squirrel said, our nail is unupgraded, and even with fragile strength, this is going to take a little bit of time just to take him down. Like I said, avoid those corners. They can spawn on top of you during this phase. Got one of these double discs. There's just such a nice rhythm to it. Not to mention the music here is so good. I love the Mantis Lord's theme. They've got this whole harpsichord aesthetic, combined with all the other string instruments that we've come to be sort of familiar with. Just the entire orchestration in this game is so dang good. I cannot get enough of it, no matter how many times I get through this. And 1 is down, and 2 is down. We've done it. They bow to us. I say we bow back. As much as we possibly can. We get the achievement Respect for that, and that is going to do a couple of things for us. The first thing that I'm going to do is bench warp on back to the bench that we had set before going onwards. We see a little NPC over there who seems to be addled by that orange smoke, the very same thing that we saw Sly affected with back when we first rescued him from the Forgotten Crossroads. So let's go see if we can shake whoever that is out of that as well. Another metal door blocking our path. Down this way, we see this interesting statue and get a new charm called the Dash Master. That is a charm that will make it so that, ooh, nice, we've taken out all of the little mushrooms that we need to. The Dash Master is a charm that will make it so that you can dash more times within a given span, although still only once per jump. You can also dash downwards, which has some interesting applications. Not my personal favorite charm, but can definitely work as a decent time saver. Now we're really going to get an education on how dashing in conjunction with the wall slide works. And dashing here, no need to do that. And by the time you get through there, you're pretty much an expert on how the Mantis Claw functions. Oh, please, don't leave me behind. You forgot about me? I knew you would. Everyone always forgets about me. Oh, who are you? Your face, you're so... I'm sorry. I got lost. I don't know how I ended up here. You came here to rescue me? Bretta? The girl that everyone just ignores? Sorry, when I look at your face, I can hardly... I just can't believe you came all the way down here to rescue me. I didn't think anybody... Sorry, thank you. I'd better go. Back to town. I'd better get home. Thank you. Well, that just makes you feel good. Bretta all rescued. Not really sure yet what the advantages of that are, but come on, it just makes you feel good. So now that we've beaten the Mantis Lords, the entire Mantis tribe will show us respect and bow to us inaggressively whenever we pass by. We can't even get hit by them while they're in this state. We can attack them, and they will accept our challenge. All around, it makes that much easier to defeat them. I'm going to check how many of them I need to defeat. I need to beat 4 more Mantis Youths and 10 more Mantis Warriors. I do feel kind of bad sucker punching them like this when they clearly respect me, but, you know, they're an honor-bound race. I think they kind of understand. I hope so. I need your entries, guys. I'm so sorry. Back in the village proper, Quirrell, who had been situated right here, will leave after you beat the Mantis Lords. So, it's interesting. If you do not die to them, you probably won't ever see that he's here. Of course, if it's just your first time and you're really unfamiliar, you probably will die to them. So then it just comes to whether or not you'll come back, I suppose. Still not enough of those. Surely we can get this done. Now, the most important element of beating them, you'll notice we didn't get any thing immediately. No geo, no charms. Just the achievement respect and the respect of the Mantis tribe. The proper rewards are through here. This hunter now allows us through. And we are going to take him down. I'm so sorry, sir. And this switch is unflickable. I do kind of wonder if you were able to, sequence break this somehow. You could get past him before he closes the door. And then flick that switch to reopen it. But I am unsure. This is going to be one of the most important ones we find. A new charm called the Mark of Pride. The Mark of Pride is a 3-slot charm that will drastically increase the range of our nail. We've already seen the long nail charm for sale from Salubra. The Mark of Pride is essentially a bigger upgrade for a bigger cost. And over here, money. Money, 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 money. 620 geo for that. And I always found this was sort of a slap in the face. We've got a bench here right next to that battlefield. Just super conveniently close that it is impossible to sit on until you no longer need it. I think that's just sort of mean. Oh, excuse me, sir. Almost done with these numbers, I'm sure. We're close, At least these ones give money. It's not like the mask flies where I'm just killing them to be a jerk. These guys at least give money and progress towards the journal entry. Back down here, next to the Mantis Lord's fight. For the time being, as long as this door is open, we cannot get up to the top of this chamber and reach those lifeblood cocoons, which I think is funny. But the fact that this door has opened is one of the main rewards for beating the Mantis Lords. And out here, we see tons of their spears impaled on all of these dead enemies. Welcome to Deepnest. We see a mask shard up there that we are completely incapable of reaching right now, but it is there for us to bear in mind. Another Geo Rock. These ones look more like cocoons than rocks, interestingly enough. And we find Cornifer, for one time only, not humming his usual cheery tune. This place gives me the creeps. Vicious little creatures burst out all over the place, and passages are dark, twisting maze. Unless you're well prepared, I'd urge you to leave. Though if you're feeling strong enough to descend, would you like to buy my map? Very cheap one for Deepnest, and it's because he has not explored much of this place. Cornifer not really feeling up to the challenge ahead. Here we see the spikes aren't really spikes, they're a mass of some sort of larval bug. Not quite aggressive enough to come out and pounce on us, but still dangerous just by their mere existence. And things are going to get dim around here for us. We've got all of these glowing plants that will help us see the way forward. But as long as things are the way they are, we might end up floundering in the dark here a little bit. Now, Deepnest is the point of this game that I personally realized that I was playing something pretty special. This place is terrifying. There's no two ways about it. It's dark. All you hear are the sounds of rustling bugs and this very atmospheric tune playing, which isn't so musical as it is just noise. There's still instruments playing the songs. Ouch. Okay, so that was another new enemy. That was a Garpede? No, a dirt carver. The giant ones are called Garpedes. Dirt carvers are very, very tanky compared to most enemies. And on top of that, they are less susceptible to knockback than the majority of foes that we have faced so far. Ow! Yeah, those big ones are Garpedes. They're completely invulnerable. They just serve right now as hazards. Another new enemy. A deep hunter. And we are already figuring out just how treacherous this place can be. Lots of money to be found around here, though. Oh, yikes. They came around from both sides. Shoot. Okay, yeah, dirt carvers, they have that sort of green path element about them that makes it so that they can sneak up from below at any point. What makes Deepnest really terrifying is the fact that a lot of enemies are basically random. I've gone through this on multiple playthroughs several times, and they've never spawned in quite the same way. For now, it seems like the best direction to try and head is going to be upwards. Although we've already been that way. Forgive me if I get lost here. It is very difficult to keep your bearings in Deepnest, which is part of its difficulty. Goodness gracious me. On the bright side, we are going to get a lot of money around here, should we survive to tell about this trip. Okay, we're fine. We are fine. We're heading up. And there's so many false floors as well. Be very aware of the sound that it makes when floor starts cracking, and respond by either jumping or dashing. Sometimes you can't even tell based on just what it looks like. Sometimes the ground will look obviously like you can jump around it. Sometimes that is not the case. More dirt carvers. I'm just gonna take advantage of hitting them through the ground. And here we find ourselves at a bit of a crossroads. We can not go left, that area is blocked, but we can go downwards or upwards. I said going upwards seems like the smart choice right now, but for this time, we're going to head down instead. Now we've got another maze to navigate. Bright side about this one is that there are no geo-rocks, no collectibles, no pretty much anything in the path that we're about to take. So all you have to worry about is making forward progress. And sometimes these dirt carvers can actually burrow down back underneath the ground for the sake of surprising you by re-emerging at a later point. Ooh, hey, there's a whole area down here. And another one up there. I'm going to try my best to break through as many hidden breakable walls and floors as I can, just for the sake of should we ever need to come back through here. What's up with this? This is dead end. Okay, that's fine. As long as we keep moving. General rule of thumb, once again, as long as you're heading in a direction you have not been to before, you are going the right way. I don't think that guy dropped any geo. That's odd. Going to head up this way and down here. These walls cannot be clung to or jumped off of. But when we get to the bottom, we find the second hot spring in the game, accompanied by a very welcome bench. We can see the path that we've taken here and exactly where we are so far. There's no getting back up the way we came. There's absolutely no way for us to jump, but we have a bit of solace here. As you may call it, a light in the dark. In the next episode, we're going to keep exploring Deepnest, but in this episode, I just want to thank you guys so much for watching. It has been a great time. If you guys want to like this video, well, do so at your own risk. Otherwise, you may face something very painful on our claws. See you guys next time.